That's right. Both died at 78. All right, here you go. You're going to hear the music and all that good stuff.
Okay.
Here we go.
Time for Sold in St. Augustine, bringing you the businesses, builders, and brokerages that drive the lifestyle and economy of St. Augustine. Now, here's your host, Wally Conway.
Oh, good morning. Grateful to be with you. What a wonderful morning it is. It's a little bit crisp in the air. That's been a bit of a surprise. And I was packing this morning on the way to Indianapolis to discover it's supposed to be 40 as I'm up there for the next 4 days. So I will be grateful to be back with you again next week, recovering from the cold. Well, I've made you the promise all along the way to bring you some of the most fascinating people that St. Augustine has to offer from the business world, from the builder world, and from the real estate brokerage world, so we can better understand what a wonderful place we do live in and how, when we need something, who to call, who to trust. I've got a very dear friend of mine here with me today, and in the words of Mac Davis, one hell of a woman. Isn't it amazing we lost Mac Davis and Helen Redding at the same night and at the same age of 78? Having just turned 65, I hope to outdistance both of those fine people. But let me introduce you to a dear friend of mine, Christina Welch from the Welch team at Keller Williams. Christina, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Wally. Excited to be here on this crisp morning. I love that we're saying that. Love that the weather's dropped below 70 degrees.
Well, someday you may crawl in an attic with me in a beautiful St. Augustine August, and then you will know what heat feels like in an attic at 160 or 175 degrees. So, Christina, we've known each other a very long time. We've known each other since there was the pre-Welch team, when the Welch team was Christina and a couple of little kitties in a stroller. Why teams? You know, if I'm looking to buy a home, I'm looking to sell a home, I've got lots of choices of real estate agents. There's more than 3,000, I do believe, just in the St. Augustine board alone. What does a team do for me if I'm a buyer or seller? Why?
What I've learned is you can't do it alone. Teams give you leverage. So if I'm a seller and I'm putting a property on the market, I want to make sure that my agent is out there marketing it to the best of their ability, reaching out to other brokerages and making sure that communication's there between other agents, showings are being scheduled. There's not enough time. If I'm physically out with a buyer showing them houses, how am I coordinating all of those other items? And so as a seller, you want to make sure that you're leveraging the best team on your side. So you have one dedicated specialist to list and market your property, and then they have a team to help show those properties, hold open houses, and get it out to the consumers that are coming in and calling to actually go see that property. One person can't do it all.
You know, I almost look at a real estate team like a band. It's certain to say there are some incredible standalone artists. James Taylor would come to my mind. I've loved James Taylor for 50 years. Wonderful, all alone. But that's the exception. And it's the same I see in real estate, you know. There are people who stand alone and are exceptional. But man, when you got the whole band playing for you, you just feel so much better. So I like that analogy that you make real estate music when you play with a team. It all gets done. Everybody knows their role. You've scripted and orchestrated to make real estate music.
You do, and I think that's the best analogy that you could possibly use. The lead singer shouldn't be playing the guitar, just like the buyer specialist needs to be out showing homes, and the listing specialist needs to be out selling and listing those properties. And if you truly divide and conquer, one person cannot do it all. And that's kind of why we started the team, why we've created different areas for each people to focus on, all the way down to transaction management. So once the property goes under contract, those agents are out in the field. There's no way they can coordinate with title companies and lenders and other agents on the other side, sellers, appraisers, home inspectors. You know, there's a whole slew of people that we have to coordinate. And if you're out in the field showing property, it's just do, which is why we've created that section as well.
Well, it can make the home inspection part easy. We have real-time online scheduling. You don't even need to call if you don't need to. So I have a really hard question for you, Christina, before we play some music together. So bands have personality. Real estate teams have personality. If the Welch team with lead singer Christina Welch was a band, what band would that be?
Oh my Lord, Wally, that is a loaded question. You know, we actually listen to music every single day here, and we go through different types of genres. So I guess it would depend on what decade and or what music soundtrack.
All right. Well, we're going to give you a little bit of a break. We're going to take a break. We're going to listen to some music, but I want you to noodle through what band best represents the personality of the Welch team. We'll be right back.
That's a tough one, Wally.
You place the flowers
There's
in
so many.
the vase that you bought today. Staring at the fire for hours and hours while I
didn't hear you. I was rocking.
to you, playing your love songs all night long on me.
I think this is some four-way street. This music was cool when I was cool.
You know, I always gravitate towards older bands, but
Older men?
bands,
Oh,
not men, bands.
Not men.
Well, my husband is older than me, but only by 2 years. So
There you go. So Wally, this song is about 1:50, and then I'm going to play 2 quick commercials coming out of it and then introduce you, okay?
yep.
Okay. Back to the music.
It's for you, only for you. Our house is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you. Used to be so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you. And now I'll light the fire while you place the flowers in the vase that you bought today.
Are you looking for the best home warranty coverage for your next home purchase? Discover the only coverage in America that includes underground sewer and water piping at floridahomewarranty.net. Plans start as low as $435, and your home qualifies for a free 6-month extension when you get your home inspected by the pros at Home Pro. Sign up online at floridahomewarranty.net.
Wally Conway here, Mr. Home Inspection from Home Pro Inspections with important information if you're selling your home. According to the National Association of Realtors, sellers who have their home inspected at the time of listing sell their home in less time for more money and are asked to make fewer repairs. If you want your home to sell faster and to get more money, call Home Pro Inspections today to schedule your pre-listing inspection at 904-268-8211. If your home is currently listed with a realtor, you'll want to ask about the Home Pro risk-free guarantee. If your Home Pro listing is not sold within your listing period, Home Pro will refund 100% of the inspection fee. Call now, 904-268-8211. Here's that number again, 268-8211. Call now and get your home sold faster and for more money. Home Pro Inspections, 904-268-8211, or schedule online at gohomepro.com.
It's exactly 10 minutes now after 9 o'clock. We're live from downtown St. Augustine, 66 degrees, and this is Sold in St. Augustine, the time we spend with Wally Conway. Here's Wally.
Grateful to be with you. I just love that song. Enjoying it here with Kevin, with you, and my friend Christina Welch from the Welch team. 1970, Crosby, Stills, and Nash from the album Deja Vu. I was in the 10th grade. I remember that song. I had snuggled with young ladies to that song. It just brings back some of the sweetest house memories imaginable. And music does that in our houses. Christina, before we played that song and you didn't know it was coming, I had asked you that question about the personality of the Welch team being so much like personalities of a band and how it all orchestrates and plays together to make beautiful real estate music. What band personifies the personality of the Welch team?
I don't necessarily, well, that's a good question. So, but I would say that probably the Rolling Stones, they've been together for an extended amount of time. They're still going strong. They've got a great team camaraderie. They perform well. So I would definitely point at them if you put me on the spot, which
I did put you on the spot. And I think that was an awesome choice, but I will make one caveat to the Welch team being like having a similar personality as the Rolling Stones. And that is this, ma'am. At the Welch team, you can get satisfaction.
I like that, Wally.
So a person who's out looking at new homes, they've made the decision, they live in the ancient city, but they'd like to have a new home that is brandy new, maybe custom built, maybe from a tract builder. We've certainly got a lot of wonderful choices and from local builders since. Mastercraft would be an example. We've also got all the national builders represented in St. Augustine and throughout the county. Why would a home buyer engage the services of a real estate agent to go with them looking at new homes as they're looking to make choices? Why is that good for me as a home buyer?
There are several reasons. We can start out with knowledge of the product, because there, as you said, there's multiple builders, multiple communities, multiple advantages of working with one builder over the other, incentives being offered, community amenities, school districts that they're feeding into. So as a standard consumer, you're going to walk into one neighborhood and find out that information, but do you know the information from 20 other communities? And no, not unless you're out there in the field doing it every single day. So for us, that's kind of what we do. We take all of those educational pieces. We're out in the fields going through it constantly, just with every builder, every community. And so we do have information to provide. And then most of the time, people have been sitting in their houses for quite some time. They've decided they want to move, so they have a property to sell. And at Welch Team, we have 3 separate offerings we can give them. One, we can help bring an offer through Open Door. We can also bring an offer through Keller offers, so 2 separate online offer programs, or we can take it to market. So depending on their timeline, their motivation, what they need to do, there's 3 separate offerings that we can offer to those consumers. So that way they can move in the timeline that's convenient for them. Some people want to move immediately and some people like to build. So we try to give them as many opportunities and options as we can.
In my personal experience in buying and selling lots of houses, as well as our observation of 40,000 transactions we've been in, the site agent for the builder tends to have tremendous product knowledge about that particular builder in that particular community. But they're not there to share information about the other builders or other communities. That it's not their purpose, nor is it their core expertise. So having an expert with you in multiple communities and multiple builders can really help you make that right decision, as well as see many, many options to be dispose doesn't sound like a nice word, to sell the home that you're presently looking to move from. Let's play some more music and then we'll get back to some more conversation with Christina Welch from the Welch team at Keller Williams.
Are we good?
I'm not hearing the music, Kev. Oh, there it is. I'm not hearing you or the music. Christina, do I still hear you?
I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Not hearing you, Kevin.
Wally, the team came up with, let's see, George says NSYNC.
Say that again?
George says NSYNC. That's the band.
Oh.
Not surprising. The Village People from Nathan, Little Big Town. Oh my goodness. It's funny how technology makes everybody at your easy to get in touch with at one time.
Yeah. You get them liking and sharing.
I know.
When we leverage things, we actually get more viewers through social media channels than we do just on the station alone. So each thing leverages the other nicely.
We did have people on our feed. Okay, so talk to me about the boat. Where are you traveling to first?
Well, first I'm traveling from St. Augustine to bring it home. So, or not St. Augustine, Daytona. The boat's in Daytona. We just closed yesterday. I'm going to Indy. So next weekend, we'll go down to St. Augustine. We'll futz on it just to get comfortable for a couple of days. And then the week after that, I've taken a whole week off. So we'll just come up from Daytona, spend a day or two in St. Augustine, and come the rest of the way home.
Well, why are you traveling to Indy? You never said.
Speaking at a conference. Residential Warranty Services is based there. We were supposed to be in Vegas, and the hotel canceled the convention. So Nathan, you've met Nathan with me before. He rented an entire Embassy Suites hotel so that we could negotiate with a hotel what rules we were playing by, and not, you know, it's about being fair to the hotel, being fair to the convention attendees, and being fair to families who are traveling. You know how it goes. Everybody's got a little different comfort level in COVID. Kevin, I'm still not hearing you or the music. Building inspections. Did you know that Monument Commercial Building Inspections has inspected over 10 million square feet of local commercial office, retail, and warehouse space, and several thousand multifamily units? Yep, Monument Commercial Building Inspections can do it all. Commercial building inspections, permit histories, and balcony inspections. Call Monument Commercial Building Inspections at 904-660-2915 or online at monumentcommercial.com.
Are you looking for the best warranty coverage for your next home purchase? Discover the only coverage in America that includes underground sewer and water piping at floridahomewarranty.net. Plans start as low as $435, and your home.
Kevin, should I take this to all the way to 9:30, or should we take another song break?
Pros at Home Pro. Sign up online at floridahomewarranty.net.
19 minutes after 9 o'clock, we're live from downtown St. Augustine. A gorgeous day today, and we're live with Sold in St. Augustine, Wally Conway.
Grateful to be with you. Christina Welch, dear friend from the Welch team at Keller Williams, is with us also. We're talking all things houses and listening to house songs and intermixing between the two. Pink Houses, John Cougar. You know, it's kind of a funny thing. You think you got a goofy last name like Mellencamp, and it's not going to work out, so you decide you're John Cougar. Then all of a sudden, with success, you get the courage to say, no, I'm really John Mellencamp. I just kind of stay with Wally Conway and go that way. October 23rd, 1983, that was released. It was on the B side. The other side was Serious Business. So I really enjoy those guys. You got a favorite John Cougar song there, Christina?
I really like that song. It actually makes our 4th of July playlist every year.
I like that little ditty about Jack and Diane. I like that one.
That's cool.
Two young lovers just trying to make a stand. Makes me feel good. So we were chatting earlier about the advantage to the home buyer / seller, really, when looking at new construction in St. Augustine, elsewhere in St. Johns County, of having an advocate, essentially, if I can use that word, for them in that pursuit. Someone, like yourself or the Welch team. I know also that you chair the Sales and Marketing Council at the Northeast Florida Builders Association. Our first guest ever on Sold in St. Augustine was, in fact, Bill Garrison, the CEO of the Northeast Florida Builders Association. What is the Sales and Marketing Council? What do they do? And how does that bring value to me as a home buyer? Why would I want to ask my agent, hey, are you a member of the Sales and Marketing Council? What's the benefit to me as a customer?
Again, it goes back to that whole education piece. We communicate with all the site agents and the builders throughout our community. We're in their model homes. We're networking with them at events. I will tell you that kind of got put a little bit on hold because of COVID, but we're picking it back up. We have a membership drive coming up this month, actually, ending on October the 15th. And so, it's all about who you know, how, what they're doing, what they're building, where they are. And so for us, it's very important to make sure that we know all of those site agents. We know all of those builders, because as a buyer, you want to make sure you're working with somebody who knows the person that's going to be helping you build your home. Yeah,
we do dozens in a month, dozens of new construction inspections, phase inspections, and whatnot. All around the region, in particular St. Johns County, St. Augustine. One of the things I've noticed is when the home buyer, when their agent has a strong professional relationship with the builder's site agents, things go better. It's not two strangers trying to figure out how to take care of you as the home buyer, but it's professional friendships, it's respect, it's knowledge each of their role, and it really does go better. I always enjoy when we have that opportunity, when we're doing new construction inspections and the buyer has essentially a representative to help them feel comfortable and calm, along with the site agent. So it's a teamwork to make the dream work, as I view it. I want to thank you publicly, Christina, for two things that are almost the same. One, of being a big part of getting me deeply involved, immersed in Best Buddies. And that's just been so rewarding. I'm a very fortunate person. You're fortunate. Kevin's fortunate. We've got lots of friends. And young people with disabilities often don't have a friend, no one in the lunchroom and no one after school to do things with. And the Best Buddies program pairs kids who have an intellectual or developmental disability with a person who doesn't, to bridge that gap and have inclusion and really help and support each other. And I'm always going to be grateful to you, and I have to mention Cole at the same time, for recruiting me into this, I guess about a decade ago, and just making my life better for my involvement with Best Buddies. Give me an idea of how Best Buddies came to be so important to you.
So I think it touches based on what we talked about a little bit ago. I grew up in a military family. We moved constantly. It was hard to make friends, especially when you're moving so often. And so I am fortunate enough to not have a disability, but even not having a disability, not having somebody to sit with in the lunchroom or hang out with on the weekends, it can be detrimental to children growing up. So for me, it's super important to make sure that we help build those relationships. I think we've talked about this before. The children without the disability get so much more out of it because they're learning how to be a better person and create those friendships with people that they typically wouldn't even think about because it's just not part of what they're used to doing. And so having people step out of their comfort zone and become friends with people that you normally wouldn't even talk to is such a great mission. such a great mission for me.
And one of the things that I know the school superintendent is working diligently on is anti-bullying. And the Best Buddies program is probably one of the greatest things that a school can introduce to combat bullying. It just makes better people. I've been saying for all the years since you first got me involved with Best Buddies, I see the kids without the disability probably growing more than the child who did have the intellectual disability. They just learn to be better people. And by gracious, now more than ever, being a little bit tolerant, a little bit kind, and a little bit understanding of people who aren't exactly like us, whether it's gender or ethnicity or disability or like bald guys like me. You know, there's some people that don't care for bald guys, but once you get to know one, we're really not that scary, are we?
Well, you know, I think that you're right. Everybody needs to be kind, and this is just a way to help our younger generations start that process a little bit early. Everybody has different things going on in their life, and I think I've said this all through COVID. Everybody has different opinions. You just need to be kind to one another.
You know, you introduced me to somebody really wonderful a month or two ago out on St. Augustine Beach, and that was Chief Rob Hardwick, soon to be Sheriff Rob Hardwick, the way the path is presently going. But it's incredible what Chief Hardwick and his officers are doing in the community to reach out to not only kids with disabilities, but also seniors and others. The programs they're running, we are going to have a better St. Johns County when that fine gentleman is in place as sheriff and brings some of that great passion he has for people with differences to get us all a little bit closer together. Tell me what you know about the Bring Me Home program that's being launched by Chief/Sheriff Rob. I don't know the right way to address him. I guess he's not really elected yet, but we know what's coming.
Well, I mean, and I think that's a program that two great women are starting. It's a newer program, and hopefully at some point there will be a database. So if people are taken into custody and they're nonverbal, they'll have the ability to be able to communicate with just the words "bring me home." It's a really great program, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. And I know that the two women involved are working diligently to get it done with
yeah. And what's so fascinating about the Bring Me Home program, and it's still in the launch phase, so it's not fair to say that it's all done yet, but I have great faith in the people behind it, and I have great faith in the chief to get it done. But for many people with disabilities, they're when they're confronted by law enforcement, even in the most positive of circumstances, they may be fearful. And people with disabilities, whether that's dementia as an older person or some other disability, could be autism or whatever that disability is intellectually, their responses to a fearful situation, those responses are things like looking away or putting their hands in their pocket. They're doing the best they can do in a high stress situation for that individual, unknowingly inducing a high stress situation for the officer who's really just trying to be helpful. And I was so moved. You know, Sheriff Rob and all of law enforcement, no one wants to have a confrontation with a citizen that has a frightening outcome. And this program, and it's new, you hadn't heard of it yet, but keep asking. You know, as you know, other members of law enforcement, ask them about Bring Me Home and what Rob Hardwick is doing. And when you're speaking to senior groups and others with disabilities, get this Bring Me Home. So the only thing that person needs to communicate are the words Bring Me Home. That immediately lets the officer know they're dealing with someone who has some type of challenge. And also, as the database fleshes out, they'll know what those challenges are and who to contact to get that person in a calm, safe environment. So thank you so much for what you've done there. I want to thank my special guest, Christina Welch from the Welch team, for being with us today. I want to thank my buddy Kevin for the great music choices. Happy to be with you. Grateful that you've spent time with us. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you all.
Well, ma'am, you are now my go-to for short notice.
Good job. That was very good.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, good. I hope so.
Yeah, that was great, Christina. I'm really grateful to you on such short notice, just jumping in and doing it. And Kevin, I'm always grateful to you, man. I love the opportunity, and I'll keep trying to learn to do this better.
No, I think no, that was tight, and that worked out really, really well. Let me know when you want it. I don't think we have one scheduled for next week, so let me know, Wally, when you want to do it.
I will. In fact, I'll work on that today while I'm in the airport, and we'll pick days for the rest of the year. And then if we need to move them for something you've got more important, Kev, we can do that or whatever.
All right. Have fun in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
If I don't freeze to death.
this is I have to tell a real quick story, Kevin. A long time ago, Wally brought me into his studio. I think I had to have been like 10 years ago. And we did this recording, and it was the most mundane recording you had ever heard in your entire life. And he gave me all these CDs, and I'm like, well, I don't think I can use this for marketing. I did such a bad job with it.
Aw. People are very self-critical, though. I bet it wasn't nearly as bad as you thought.
Well,
Well, that was a positive.
he does such a great job with this, though. It just flows. So
Yeah.
we appreciate all y'all do.
All right, well,
I'll let you get back to work, Christina.
All right. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Bye-bye, both.